Hey everybody, it's the 18th episode of My Voice is Going Crackly. I'm going through second puberty. If first puberty was bad enough, hair spreading everywhere. Second puberty, jeez. Start getting spots again. Not looking forward to that. Anyway, this is episode 18 of The Twilight Zone. It's called The Last Flight. I have seen one episode of The Twilight Zone, or at least I know all about it. It's the William Shatner one on a plane. Is it this one? I don't think it's called The Last Flight, but it could be. And again, I don't know if I've seen it, but I do know all about it. So, none of the other episodes that are coming up seem to be airplane related, so we'll just watch it. The last one was about gambling. It was funny, especially when the machine started chasing him. His poor wife. Our mission, you and me and everybody who's watching this, we're going to find a couple in the Twilight Zone that are human, that get along, that are just a normal couple. There's no issues in the marriage. You're not wondering, why did they get married in the first place? Because we got the guy, the hypochondriac guy, terrible marriage. We had guy reading the book, awful marriage. We had, trying to think, the aliens one, they were fine. They were on the same wavelength, but they weren't human. Fourth, we've had more couples. Come on. Gambling one, awful. Let me see. Where is everybody? No couples. One for the angels, no couples. Mr. Denton, oh, the guy, he's going to have grandchildren. Remember him? The 16mm shrine. That woman, she wanted to hook up with her co-star. Turns out he's like 117 years old now. Walking distance, no, that guy, just him in his car. Escape clause, we talked about that one. The lonely, robot. That was good. That was an okay relationship. It just ended with, I'm spoiling every single episode of The Twilight Zone, by the way. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. Time enough at last. We talked about that. Worst. Perchance to dream. Oh. He had an interesting relationship in his dream. Judgment Night? Nope. Although, he's going to have plenty of opportunity to hook up with people on that boat. And when the sky was opened, that was... He had a relationship with... I think that was... I don't think it was his wife. It was somebody... She wanted to be picked up somewhere. I don't know if they were together. He freaked out and went out the window. That's all I remember about them. What do you need? Nope. He needed better shoes. The four of us are dying. That guy was just trying to hook up with people that he didn't really know. Third from the sun. We talked about that one. I shot an arrow into the air. Water. Hitchhiker? Yeah, her and the hitchhiker, they had a good or her and the sailor. She was meeting a lot of guys, actually, in that episode. Sailor dude. Hitchhiker dude. Car mechanic. Guy in the cafe. Guy at the lubrication place. 5 people, 5 guys. And then the fever. Yeah, so we haven't had a good relationship. We haven't had a good couple. And maybe it's not possible, because... if the episode is about a couple, one of them has to have something weird going on. But let's wait for it. Let's frickin' do it. They're just a perfectly... I've talked about couples too much. Let's see what The Last Flight is about. There's probably going to be a beautiful couple. The captain and the co-pilot. They're just going to be great together. This is how you fly a plane, isn't it?
Witness Flight Lieutenant William Terrence Decker.
I thought he was going to say William Shatner.
The year is 1917.
World War I?
The problem is that the lieutenant is hopelessly lost.
Just keep going straight, dude.
Lieutenant Decker will soon discover that a man can be lost not only in terms of maps and miles,
but in time.
But also in time.
Why are they circling the...
What do you think you're doing?
Landing?
do you mean running this antique in front of an approaching aircraft?
Oh, it's the future.
Are you American? We had no idea you were so advanced.
Advanced? What are you talking about? He's like, look at these planes. Look at this. There's probably some really obvious cues that it's not 1917. Females? He's probably like, women? Harper?
Major Wilson to see you, General.
Ah. Very formal. How you doing? Oh, they're still laid back in the future, aren't they?
What is this? Who are you?
Second Lieutenant William Terence Decker, sir. Royal Flying Corps.
You mean Royal Air Force?
What?
No, sir. Royal Flying Corps.
Who's going to figure it out
What are you
first?
doing here? Why are you dressed like that?
A reenactment? You've heard of reenactments?
Why are you wearing this costume?
This is my uniform, sir.
I thought I was landing at 56 Squadron RFC.
56 Squadron RFC.
That hasn't existed for 30 years. 40 years.
What's today's date?
Oh, he's figured it out.
Why, 1917. Well, isn't it?
This is a practical joke.
It's March the 5th, 1959. Lieutenant.
They're just joking with you, dude.
You're not joking with me, are you?
Do they look like the kind of guys that joke? It's funny that they're buying his story and not just thinking he's crazy, like in the pilot
You
episode.
don't seriously expect us to believe...
Oh, okay.
It's true, when I took off this morning, it was 1917.
You don't expect me to believe that it's 1959, do you? Well, this will convince him. He's like, what the shit is that?
That cloud.
It's a time
While I was
cloud.
passing through it, I couldn't hear my engine.
It's a Bermuda Triangle cloud.
Mac and I were going... Mac, Captain Mackay.
Who?
Yes, we're in the same...
Alexander Mackay?
How did you know?
He's been dead for...
Air Vice Marshal Alexander Mackay
he got
is at
promoted.
this moment en route to this base for a tour of inspection.
He'll recognize him.
But that's impossible. Because he's dead.
Wow, this is a twist.
If it's a hoax, it's certainly an elaborate one.
If it's a hoax, Major.
All right, sir, what is it?
We'll find out when Mackay arrives.
Could ask the Minister of War in London. There might be records on this, Decker. You don't think he meant to use that on Mackay?
We'll know soon enough.
An assassination
I
attempt.
swear that doesn't make any sense.
Major!
You're confusing me, Major.
Excuse me.
Get out of here. You're making too much sense. Don't dissuade me from my conspiracy theories, Major. Wait, he's Major. Are they both Majors? I tell you, they'd win World War I with these planes. Hello. You believe me, don't you?
Lieutenant?
I'm going to give you a quiz.
Why am I a prisoner here?
Who is the president?
Not that white cloud you spoke of.
The time cloud?
A cloud of silence? Such a thing just doesn't happen every day.
Well, it happened today. Now, look here, I've told you I'll see Mackay. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Can you show me something from the future that I can take back with me? Make $1 million?
You really feel you know him, don't you?
Know him?
Best friends.
Oh, lead bottom?
Lead bottom.
That's what we used to call him before he died.
Well, one day, Mac got hit in a most embarrassing spot.
In his bottom?
I always called him Old Lead Bottom after that. It's a private joke, of course.
Only he will know it.
But why do you keep insisting that he's dead?
Because the last I saw of him, he was caught in a circle of 7 German planes.
Obviously he got away.
I don't see how he could have.
He was one of Britain's great heroes during the Blitz.
The what?
Second war we told you about. Undoubtedly saved hundreds of lives. Maybe even thousands.
It's that lead bottom of his. All the bullets just bounced off. Ooh.
Decker!
Decker, where you going, Decker? Good job, dude.
Thanks, sir. Yes, you can wait outside.
You're promoted.
What's wrong, Decker?
I've got to leave.
Mackay will be here in a little while and we'll get to the bottom of
I
it.
tell you what, I can't see him.
Why not?
Because he'll know me for what I am.
What are you?
I'm a coward!
Oh, he left him to die
Coward!
with those 7.
All my life I've been running away. That's why I'm here, because I was trying to run away. Up there, I'm just as afraid as I am on the ground. And Mac and I...
It's called Mac and Me, starring Paul Rudd.
Well, I just linger in the clouds, flying back and forth. Just hoping for enough time to pass so that I can go back.
Throw him in the brig, he's a coward. He's really opening up to this guy, isn't he?
I've actually fired bullets through the cockpit walls so that the chaps will see them and be impressed. God help me.
What does this guy think?
It isn't a crime to be afraid, Decker.
He's sympathetic.
I'm sure Mackay would understand that.
Not lead bottom. Not him.
When the Germans came at us, I left him up there to die.
Well, he didn't die!
Well, I can't understand that.
Because you go back in time and you take them on yourself.
Well, maybe he got help somehow.
You can see it. You can see where it's going.
Maybe it was me that helped him. Maybe it wasn't an accident that I landed here. Maybe I was brought here for a purpose.
Yeah.
To find out that Mac had survived.
To steal one of your planes.
You've got to let me go. It's the only chance he has.
He's alive. He's coming here today.
How do you know that? How do you know that he won't have been killed 42 years ago unless I help him now?
Exactly. What about the guy outside? He's... No, demote that guy. Could you direct me to the planes? Get one of the newer ones. He probably wouldn't be able to fly the newer ones. The dude will arrive and he'll recount the story of how his friend came back and single-handedly saved his life. That's how it's going to end. Back to his old plane.
Where do you think you're going?
Where do you think I'm going? I'll give him one thing. He's not a coward when it comes to fighting people in real life.
But can't you understand?
Don't you see? I gotta do this.
It's all those other lives, you say.
Don't you see?
Fire! I'd rather die.
Ooh. See? He's no coward. Let him go. Well, he is driving like that.
You're in trouble, Major.
He punched me, sir. What was I supposed to do?
Yes, sir. How could you possibly...
Oh, here comes the story.
Marshal Mackay. How do you do, General? I'm very pleased to meet you.
Tell me the
sir.
story
I
of
trust you had a comfortable flight.
1917.
Good.
Do you remember Decker? William Decker?
Sir, did you ever know a man by the name of William Terence Decker?
Ah, yes.
Terry Decker? Oh, I certainly should know him.
He saved my life.
Saved my life. But I had a feeling that old Terry was lighting out on me.
But then he came
away.
back.
Disappeared in a cloud.
The time
White
cloud.
clouds, sir?
I don't know.
What a weird question.
Out of nowhere, it seemed, Terry came diving down.
Yeah, sacrificed himself.
He got 3 of the blighters before they got him. Saved my life.
Then he did get back.
What? What are you talking about?
Say, what is this all about?
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Where in heaven's name did you get these?
Fell from the sky.
Yes?
White cloud.
Now, what the devil is this all about?
Just a prank, dude. Don't worry about it.
You'd better sit down, old lead bottom.
Oh,
What did you call me, you insubordinate little shit? I'll demote you so fast you'll wish you were a first-year cadet again.
There are more things in heaven and earth than are
Yeah.
dreamt of in your philosophy. And somewhere in between heaven, the sky, the earth, lies the Twilight Zone.
Like that. That was The Last Flight. Didn't star William Shatner. Did star William Decker. Decker. Where do I know that name from? Decker. Decker. Anyway, a nice little... It was a bit like, actually, the pilot episode of The Twilight Zone, which I should have put up by now. The guy goes back in time. But this time, it does sort of make sense. He doesn't... His belongings don't suddenly disappear or anything like that. It's just, he makes a brief pit stop in the future, and then he goes back the way he comes back to where he left. Just a little journey through the Twilight Zone into the future and then back into his real time. He just had to talk to himself. He felt like he was a coward, even though he wasn't. You know, it was instilled in him. He thought, I'm just a coward, I'm going to fly away. Then when he really thought about it, he was like, you know what? What do you mean Leadbottom survived? There's no way he could have, unless I come back and I save him. And he did. He went back knowing probably that he was going to die, but better to go out a hero and courageous than live as a coward. That was the moral of the story. And I'm glad that we had like one believer, one non-believer, one guy who figures it out, one guy who thinks it's like a conspiracy, that the guy's just there to assassinate Leadbottom. I I had more knowledge of what it's like to be in 1917 and what it's like to be in 1959, just to see what he's looking at through his eyes going, ooh. I would have liked a scene in like the waiting room where he's like staring at like some advanced, like a watch or something. He's like, ooh, look at this thing. Or, you know, something that was invented, like obviously watches weren't invented between those 2 years, but like something on TV maybe, color TV. Show him The Wizard of Oz. That'll blow his mind. Yeah. So that was the last flight. I guess we should have known the ending given the title of the episode. You know, it was his last flight. Okay, doesn't mean he's going to die. You know? But, yeah. Fun little episode involving time. Internally, consistent enough. He was always destined to stop there. He was always destined to go back and save the dude. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Next one is called The Purple Testament. What the hell does that mean? And since this show is in black and white, color, that's interesting. How did they deal with color? You never hear somebody saying, hey, that's a nice red dress you're wearing. In, like, any of the episodes. Hey, take a look at this rainbow. How do you deal with that in a show that's filmed in black and white? What? Now I am curious. Did any show that was primarily had no color version, it was all in black and white, did they ever deal with color? My brain is going off on a crazy, like, little thing. But we'll find out if there's any purple in the next episode. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you then. So, until next time, avoid the white clouds. You know what happens there. Yeah. See you.